So leveling is in this leveling part, we will find the height of different points. It may be on level surface or below or on the earth surface. Whatever points are present on the earth surface, we can find the relative position with respect to their height in case of leveling. Okay, so simply means we can find the vertical measurements of different points which are present on earth surface. It may be above the ground level or below the ground level. For this purpose, we are using auto level, dumpy level, tilting level, theodolite, Shillong-Har tracer. These are the instruments which we can use for leveling work to find the reading, or you can say find the relative height of different points on the earth surface. Basically, we are using mostly dumpy level and auto level for the leveling work. But the purpose is we have to see only the reading through the diaphragm, eyepiece and object piece. So we can also use other instrument like theodolite, tilting level, Shillong-Har tracer to take the readings for the completion of leveling work. In addition to this, so there are when we talk about practical utility of leveling work, there are number of construction projects which when we start, we have to know the different types of RL about that project. Suppose we are going to construct or start any project. So first of all, we need to find the RL reduced level of different points on that particular site. So we can initiate the layout of that building. Without any layout, we can't start the construction of any projects. So whatever architectural drawings are there, from that drawings we are initiating their layout process. So layout process include the leveling work also. In that case, we will transfer the levels from that any benchmark nearly available. Mm, Generally, we are taking benchmark from any road level which is nearly available at that particular site. So next is, what is the purpose of leveling? So there are number of purpose of leveling works. First is we can prepare a contour map. So contour map which generally used in hilly areas. In contour map, it shows where there is a hill, valley, depressions, embankments. So these are the features which we can show on a contour map, and which is basically used to fixing the site for dam, etc. When we are going to construct the alignment of a roads, railways, irrigation canals. So fix the road alignment, you can say when we start any road project between the 2 points. So we have to align that road direction so that we can decide what will be the path for a road. So we have to select the minimum path for the destination between 2 points. So with the help of map, we can decide which path will be best for the road purposes. So that path will be suggested by the contour map. So next is determine the altitude of different important points on a hill or to a reduced level. So in this case, we will find the relative position of different points. It may be at the top of the hill, on the other sides of the hill or valley. So we can know what will be the reduced level of that particular point where we are going to start the project or construction or any constructional activity. Next is to prepare a longitudinal and cross section of the projects. As we earlier discussed about the road, so you are going to construct a road, railways, irrigation canals, which are generally in a longitudinal section. They are large, these projects are large in length. So for this purpose, we need to prepare a topographical map to determine what will be the volume of that earthwork or any construction activity which is related to that project. So from these, we can also find out an approximate analysis from what will be the budget, or you can say material quantity will be there, which will be used for that projects. Last one is to prepare a layout map for water supply, sanitary and drainage schemes. So if we have topographical map or plan, then we can understand where there is a requirement of water supply, sanitary and drainage schemes. So accordingly that we can prepare a layout map which shows all the points related to water supply and sanitary services. So these are the terms which are used in leveling. First is level surface. The level surface which is parallel to the mean vertical surface of the earth, that is known as a level surface. So level line, any line lying on a level surface is called level line. So the line which is perpendicular to the horizontal line, that is known as a vertical line. The other is mean sea level. So mean sea level which we are used for the uh, as a benchmark when we are going to start the construction of any project. So we will discuss the mean sea level in detail in the next slides. So here are some terms related to leveling work. So first is datum surface or line. So datum surface, this is the imaginary surface level, because when you are going to take a reading about the height of any object, so we need vertical distance of that point. So when we taking reading through the instrument, suppose you can see here, I will show you the picture. So here you can see, so this is the station, okay. So this is the dotted line you are seeing. So this is the imaginary surface. From this surface we are taking the readings in a forward direction and backward direction with respect to this imaginary line. This imaginary line will be same to all of the points. So this imaginary line which is created by the whatever instrument you are using, it may be a dumpy level, auto level, theodolite, tilting level or Silonga tracer, whatever instrument you are using, that will give you an imaginary line or a datum surface. So with respect to this line, you will measure all the readings on a staff which show the what will be the vertical height of that object where you are going to measure the distance, vertical distance. Okay, the height of staff may be 3 meter, 4 meter. Depending upon the situation, you can use both 3 meter or 4 meter. 4 meter are generally used where there is a huge amount of hills or valleys are there. So we need there more height with respect to measurement of vertical distance. Next is mean sea level. So mean sea level basically it's a hourly observation of the tides at any place over a period of 19 years. So it is mostly adopted by the Survey of India. Now it is in Bombay. Earlier it was in Karachi. So mean sea level, when you are going to any railway station, you will see the mean sea level already displayed on every railway station. With respect to that mean sea level, you can transfer the RL from that point. Here I will show you. You can see like this. So here written is MSL 7.10 meter, and in this case this is also mentioned mean sea level. So these are the notification which is you will see on every railway station. From this you can transfer where if you are in a nearby area you can transfer the RL from this point and you will find the accurate reading. Whatever you will get, that will be accurate reading with respect to this mean sea level. But nowadays it is already transferred to the many nearby stations also. So we can take reading with respect to them. In the general bus stands also, uh, you will see in the bus stands also there will be mentioned the mean sea level also. Some places there is a mention and some places are not mentioned. So next is reduced level. So when we are going to take the reading from any instrument, so whatever reading we are taking, that will be the reduced level of that particular point. It may be a positive, it may be a negative, it will be uh, depend upon the condition of that particular area. It may be hill or valley inside, so accordingly it may be in a positive or it may be in a negative manner. So line of collimation, this is the imaginary line again. So when we use the instrument, there is a telescope. So one end of telescope that is known as a eyepiece, other end of telescope is known as a object piece. So I will show you here. Here you can see first is eyepiece and second is object class, that is object piece or object class. And here you can see the collimation here. So this is the central line that is known as a line of collimation. So with respect to this line, we will take the reading which is horizontal in a nature. It makes the imaginary line from where we are taking the readings in a different instruments. So next is axis of telescope. So this is again same, the crosshair present which is running through the eyepiece and object piece, that is known as the axis of telescope. So next is benchmark. So these are the fixed reference point from where we will find the reduced level or RL of different points where we are going to start the work. So these are the fixed point. So you can say the reference points also to find the relative position of any points which are present on the Earth surface. We are using these benchmarks. So you can also say from the railway stations to the nearby area that levels are transferred to the any other nearby area. So that area there is a fixed point made and mention that the what will be the value of that particular point according to the its vertical height. So that are known as a benchmarks. So for practice, sometimes students, when they are going to start their work, they are assuming as 100 as a benchmark because they don't know what will be the exact value of where they are going to start the work. Sometimes it is the benchmark which is actual that is too far from that site where you are going to start. So at that time we will take a zoom benchmark as 100. So basically it's for a practice purposes. When we are going to start the project, that are actual readings are needed in that case. So we have to see where there. accurate benchmark is there, we have to transfer benchmark from that point to where we are locating for our particular survey. So next is GTS benchmark. So Great Trigonometrical Surveys. So this is established by the national agencies like Survey of India departments. So you can see here the benchmark is already placed about 100-kilometer interval. So it is not an easy task. And then you can see that India is a large country, so it is not easy to provide the benchmark at every stage. So GTS, which is Great Trigonometry Survey Department of India, they are already placed GTS benchmark about 100-kilometer intervals. Some important benchmarks also, they are providing also 10 kilometer service also. So these are the permanent benchmarks. So when you can see any public building which is very important, or VIP buildings like also which is established by the PWD or like this. So their permanent benchmarks are also fixed, and all the levels are permanently marked on that point. So that is known as a permanent benchmark. From that point, we can also use and transfer the level from that point to nearby area or where we are going to start the projects. So these type 10 also provided at a 10-kilometer intervals. So this is the example for which permanent benchmark used in USA. Arbitrary benchmarks. So these are the RL from some fixed point which we are assumed at any point, that is known as the arbitrary benchmarks. So you can see here also next is temporary benchmarks which we are providing by handwritten when we suppose we have done or complete the work, complete the leveling work, and in the end of the day we will provide a temporary benchmark so we can continue their work in the next morning from that benchmark. So these are known as a temporary benchmark. So next question is the terms which we are used in leveling. So when we start the leveling work, so there are two or three terms which we use most. First is backside, second is foresight, and third one is intermediate side. So backside means the whatever reading we are taking in the backward direction. So that is known as a backside.
Backside.
So backside means in a backward direction, foresight means in a forward direction. So we will take the first reading always in the backside, as you see in this diagram. So this is known as a backside reading. So you can see also in the backside reading, the staff is acting on a benchmark. So you can see here is a rectangular block is there. So rectangular block is benchmark. So the level of that point which is already known. Okay, so we will take the first reading on a benchmark or in a backside. So this is the primary criteria for the starting of leveling works. So last reading will be foresight and first reading will be backside. So these values will be fixed. So when we are changing the station, or you can say we are starting the leveling work, we will take the first reading back and the last reading will be foresight. And whatever reading we are taking in between the backside and foresight, that will be known as the intermediate sites. So you can see here that is designated by IS intermediate sites. BS backside, FS foresight. So change point means when we are changing the station point. So you can see first from the first point we are taking the reading and C point, that is change point. So second shifting station, from that station we are taking the first reading as a backside at point C, and at F, that is foresight, that is last reading. So this is all about whatever terms are used in labeling work. So in the last lecture we already discussed about the labeling work and some terms used in labeling works. So next part is height of instrument. So height of instrument, basically what will be the height of instrument that we are using to take the RL of different points. Uh, you can say when we start the readings, we will take the first reading in the backside. So backside reading always taken on a particular benchmark which is already known. So the simply we can find the height of instrument by adding the backside readings plus the RL of that benchmark. So when we add these two terms, you will get the height of instrument. So next is parallax. So this is the a movement of the image, whatever we are seeing in object piece or object glass, that is known as a parallax. This is the movement of crosshair. Basically, when we are facing the problem like that, so what we do, we can place a white paper in the front of glass, object glass, and we will start focusing it until we are not clearly seeing the crosshairs. So when we see the crosshair, we can remove the paper and cite the leveling stop, then we start the readings. So in this way, we can remove the parallax. So now next is types of labeling equipment. So there are a number of equipments we are used in labeling work. First is dumpy level, second is tilting level, third is automatic level, fourth is digital auto level. So first is tilting level. So tilting level, in this case, the main purpose in the labeling work, we have to take the readings. So if their advanced instruments are there, they are more magnifying the clarity in the pictures, and we can take reading easily. So these are the basic which we are used in a earlier manner. So in this case, so it can't rotate the telescope. So here you can see the telescope from where we are seeing the readings. So in this case, we can't tilt the telescope. We can just tilt to a some extent, not fully. So if you are taking a reading, so you can place the tilting level. You have to measure the reading in that direction only. If you are using use to tilting level to any other direction, then we have to move the instrument to take the reading. So there are some limitations of tilting level also. So this is automatic level. So this is automatic level, and we are used generally, or you can say mostly in the leveling work also. The main advantage of this is the it provides the clear and magnified pictures with a big zoom. So you can take the reading up to a long distances also. And next part is the leveling is so easy in this case. So you can use a spirit level which is given along with this automatic level. So it by the use of spirit level we can level the instrument easily. So as compared to other tilting level or other, so it takes long time to level the instruments. So here are some advantages of the automatic level. High precision, as I already discussed. So there will be chances of error on the staff if we are taking the reading with fluctuation in the telescope readings, as we discussed in the tilting level. So here in this case, not be like that. So we can take the precise readings there, even in the kilometers. High speed. So in case of fly leveling, progress can achieved by various levels. So fly leveling is basically used to when we are suppose we need to transfer the level from one point to another point. So we only use the backside and foreside readings. So no intermediate readings is there. So we are taking the backside and foreside reading from the long distances. So for long distances we use automatic level, which will give you clear picture regarding the reading of. So you can take the staff reading clearly. So in that case, it is also a time saving also. So you can transfer the level from one place to another in a short duration of a time with the help of automatic level. Next is dumpy level. So this is same also in like tilting level, but in this case the main thing is we can't rotate about its longitudinal axis. So the picture is whatever we are getting in this object class, that is not up to mark as we are taking readings in automatic level. So this is the picture for line diagram for dumpy level. As you see, we can also level with respect to the screws provided. There are three screws provided in all the instruments, and tilting level also, dumpy level, and automatic level. So there are different parts as you see. First is tripod stand. So there are three legs of tripod stand, then leveling head. So three leveling screws there. So you can level the instrument with the help of these three screws. Then tripod. Then circular compass is also there. From there you can take the angular movement or find the angles also. The next part is telescope. There is the eyepiece, focusing screw, diaphragm, object class, and shape. So cross bubble is also there, which shows the telescope in a level surface. Longitudinal bubble is also there. So these are the different parts of a dumpy level, which we are used also in case when we are taking reading. So here you can see what will you see in the object piece or diaphragms. So upper stadia wire line of collimation, or you can say collimation here, lower stadia. So this is the frame which is usually made of scale thread or platinum wire. So these crosshairs which we are used to take the readings, we have to what we have to do when we are taking readings. So these line of collimation which is coincide the reading whatever we are getting in the staff. So we will coincide this crosshair to the staff reading, and then we will get the reading whatever point we are seeking to measure. Next is components of a dumpy level tripod stand. So as we are already discussed the tripod stand which have three legs. So here you can see the picture of tripod stand also. You can see here below in the last there are three legs of tripod stand. So whenever we are going to use the level or we are starting the leveling work, first of all we need what we have to do. First of all we have to place the tripod stand where we can take the maximum readings from that particular point. We have to fix the tripod stand at that point. So we have to level it approximate with a naked eye. So then we have to fix the level. So whatever level, auto level, it may be a tilting level, whatever availability of instrument, you can use it. So next is leveling head. So, so in the leveling head, there are three foot screws that we are used to level the dumpy level or auto level, whatever we are using. So these foot screws can level the slightly movement of these screws. So if there is a large movement is there, or you can say large differences in there in the bubble tube, then we have to move the legs of tripod stand also, so we can level the tripod stand and instrument before starting the work. So when we use the foot screws, all the bubbles should be in the center line. So you have to use these foot screws along with the simultaneously you have to see the bubble. It should be in a center. So when we leveling is done, we have to rotate the instrument and the bubble should be in a center. After this, we have to start the work. So again, foot screws. I already discussed about how to use foot screws. We have to first of all parallel the telescope along with two foot screws, then perpendicular to the third. The telescope having eyepiece and objective which we use to take the reading on the staff. So we can also magnify through the eyepiece, which is focusing screw is provided to take the clear pictures. Next is level tube, which is used to level the instrument. So bubble tube, which suggests you the instrument is in a level state or not. If it is not level, then we have to make it sure it should be in a level state. We will use foot screws or tripod stand to make it in a level stage. So there are some points which we kept in a mind when the staff man starting the work. So first you should know what is staff. Staff which is used to take the readings. So the length of staff is 3 meter or 4 meters. The measurement units which are mentioned in the staff that is in a meter. The least count of staff is 5 mm. So it means it can measure minimum 5 mm. So least than 5 mm it can't be measured. Okay, it made of plastic. Earlier in earlier time it is also made of in a wooden stage which is foldable wooden staff. So now it may be of a steel or aluminium. So the first thing is the level staffman should hold the staff both the arms. So while standing, second it should be a vertical. So staff, whatever reading we are going to take, then staff should be in a vertical position. It should not be inclined at any angles. If there is an inclination in the staff, then error will be there. The chances of error will be present at that time when it is in an inclined manner, and it will shows in your calculation part also. So it should be stretched when we are not using the staff. It should be folded. So bottom part we have to place the staff. Bottom part of staff we have to place at a firm ground on a level surface is there. It should not be in any plane from the bottom. And the next is when we are going to take the readings. So it is a foldable staff. So we have to fold it fully. So if we are taking the large reading, or you can say the height is more than 2 or 3 meter, and we are not opening the staff in a full stretch, so then the reading whatever you are getting, that will be wrong. So we have to open or stretch it in a full, so we can use proper scale to find out the readings. So there are some points which is remembered by the level man. So whatever person who is taking the reading through the eyepiece or who is standing at a station point, so there are some points. So first is, as we already discussed, we have to place the tripod stand or station where we can find the maximum readings from that point. So we don't need to change the station again and again. So you can select a place from that point we are taking the maximum readings. The thing is, as the number of shifting point is more, you need to more, you can say the chances of error will be there if we are taking something missing or not taking reading exactly. The thing is you have to take extra readings if you are changing the station. But if we don't have any alternate, the condition is like that, or you can say the area is like that, we have to change the station, then we can. So if without changing we can take maximum reading, then we have to go for it. Next is the instrument should not be too high or too low. The height of instrument which is according to the man height who are going to take the reading, or you can say the 2 or 3 person taking the reading, then we have to fix the height accordingly, the height of average height of these persons. The leveling work should be done perfectly, so we have to take the precise readings there. So manual or personal error will be there if we are not taking the reading in an accurate manner. So leveling instrument should not be placed on the profile lines. So the center line of the projects which connect all the points. Suppose we are already working on any projects, and these projects is divided into number of triangles. So we will not use the station line or our station point in the center line of that project. So next is the eyepiece should be focused by the holding a white sheet paper in the front of telescope, as we earlier discussed about when we are not seeing the crosshair or line of collimation in the object class, then we use white paper with the help of focusing screw, and until we will use focusing screw till we not see the clear picture. So is it okay? I think.